So I found out what the wet bulb temperature means. Basically, it's like a thermometer that's covered in a cloth that's soaked in water. And it also means that... What are you guys looking at, huh?
Are we filming again?
Yeah.
Is this a podcast?
And also, it's like the temperature after like 35 degrees at like a certain humidity, your body can't sweat enough to cool you down. So it's dangerous and you can just die.
From like what, heat stroke or something?
Whatever I don't know what you die from.
Like dehydration?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
definitely feel Japan is like in that stage all month.
Basically, it's just fucking hot.
It's hell on earth.
Yeah.
It's like 5 minutes outside and I'm like soaked.
Yeah.
And like I feel gross. I can't do anything and I just stink and I stink.
It's just you normally, mate.
Yeah,
Use deodorant, bro.
Just cut that out of context.
I stink.
I swear
the other day, I covered my entire body in antiperspirant.
Yeah.
It stood no chance against Japanese summer. My body was like, no, the sweat is coming out. We cannot stop.
I remember when you went through that phase where you're like, I'm not using shampoo. And then
I still don't use much shampoo.
Your hair was like really ragged and like...
Fuck off.
Just like rope. You know,
Fuck off.
cut off Connor's hair.
It's like carpet.
No, I still shampoo like once a week. That's good. It's healthy.
That's
for
the
you.
health.
that smell was.
Once or twice a week.
Don't use your 3-in-1 Head and Shoulders every fucking day with your withered hair. I'm holding on to the remains I have left, Chris.
Fucking hell. Why is it just a half-eaten piece of camembert, Joey?
Oh, I left that for you, Mr. Camembert.
This is supposed to be
I'm
like...
stabbing my camembert.
I think this could be a good YouTube series, Behind the Cheese Broad.
No, this could not. No, this would not.
Behind the
This
Cheese
would be a
Broad.
shit.
Where I
What, like
interview
the,
people
what are
who
the
have cheese.
hot ones, but
Yeah.
it's cheese board.
Cheese Broad.
Now you got to try the brie. Oh, it's amazing.
Can you explain what's happening in this picture? Just throwing up.
Check this out. Yesterday, Charlotte and I went for dinner.
Yeah.
Sushi, which we do like once every few weeks.
Yeah.
And the price came to this.
7777.
7,777 yen. And the staff were like, you are the chosen one. Who was said to...
Post that to our mildly interesting.
R/when did I ask?
Why did you just show us a receipt?
Oh, it's kind of cool.
It's fucking no.
It's cool.
Professional entertainer, you
It's
go.
mildly interesting.
How have I made it 10
Check
years?
out this receipt.
Congratulations on getting engaged.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Things that have happened in the past 9 months.
It was good. Well, actually, it was a disaster. But he did say yes. So again, it's kind of like the chess boxing. Like things didn't go right.
How was it a
But the
disaster?
end result
What
was
happened?
good.
What happened?
How was it a disaster?
Well, so we're back in the UK for Christmas and whatnot, and celebrating the chess boxing. Charles and I went for a holiday in the UK.
Yeah.
And the UK is actually nice for a holiday sometimes, which you don't get that if you live in the UK. You don't view the UK through the prism of like, oh, this is a nice country. Right. So it was kind of like nice to go back here now and then and be like, oh, it's good. And we went to the Lake District, which we went to years before. It's kind of like a special place in the UK. And we went there and it was fucking shit because for 5 days it rained, stormed, couldn't literally go out for 5 days straight.
Jesus. Sounds like the UK.
Yeah.
It was the UK. And and I was like, fuck, I bought the engagement ring. I was going to do it here. It was going to be this magical moment.
Yeah.
And instead, we're just stuck in this like little person's house just going, oh, the weather's crap. So it's kind of like tainted my image. But anyway, I wanted to kind of... Charlotte was like... I think the conversation came up about marriage. As I was kind of like, yeah, this will be fun. I was like, yeah, I think like we went to dinner. And I was like, I'll lead her astray. I was like, marriage... What a load of rubbish, eh? Take a swig of my Merlot. And she was
Bring
like,
me another cheese
she was
board.
like, what do you mean? I was like, it's just rubbish, though, isn't it? You know, if you overhear me having a conversation with Charlotte at a restaurant, this is the quality, the level of quality you can expect.
So this is your genius idea to throw her off the shelf and figure it out.
Marriage. Because a few times like, marriage had come up. We'd been dating a few years and it'd come up. And I was like, we'll see. But I'd bought the ring a few weeks beforehand down in the UK, chose the ring, got at the shop. And that day, actually, while I was getting the ring, Charlotte was traveling around the town with her friend. And I had to, like, keep an eye out while I was in the shop.
Yeah.
Walk past the window and see me getting it. But anyway, I got the ring and, so I was like, marriage is rubbish if you think about it, isn't it? Who would want to do that? Nonsense. And she was like, what do you mean? You don't want to want to get married? I was like, I don't know, I'll think about it. Yeah. just trying to lead her astray. Yeah. And the dinner finished, we went back to our room to chat. And she got really upset. So what do you mean you don't want to marry me? I was like, well,
no.
I mean, she's like, you don't like marriage? I thought we talked about it before. I was like, oh.
And then you can't do it there.
So we're literally in this room on the bed. She's like upset, crying a little bit. I'm like laughing like a monster. She's like, what do you mean you don't want to? And I'm just like, because I'm like, the bag's over there with the ring in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, if only she knew. But I can just be like, well, guess what? It's a wedding ring.
Well, here's what I made earlier.
Yeah, you can't get engaged.
Yeah, that's not romantic.
Against
No,
even like in a funny way.
Yeah.
Her memory of the engagement would just be like trauma. Shite. Yeah. Like crying and trauma. Like, what do you mean you bought it? Like, it would just be shit. So I had to hold off, but it was really uncomfortable. And so we had 4 days of just off the back of that, me being like, yeah, I'm sure we'll get married soon. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry. I'll engage. Yeah. And then luckily, we got down to Durdle Door. Durdle Door. It's like this rock shaped like a door.
Yeah.
It was good. They filmed Tears for Fears music video there.
Nice.
That's why I like it. And then I did it there. And I think I put the camera on the because I do think the engagement thing is important. Some people literally just do it on a sofa like marriage, innit? And they're like, yeah, all right. And then some people really go really far, and do it in a fucking hot air balloon, over, Egypt or something. I wanted the middle ground.
Jackie Chan around the world in 80 days. What the fuck is this?
Where did you do it? Go.
I'll let you finish your story.
Yeah, but so I wanted the middle ground. I wanted somewhere that was a nice location that I look back on and go, that was nice. And so I found Durdle Door. The wind was like a fucking hurricane that day. Mess. I put the camera down in the rocks on the floor, and I was like, let's take a selfie. She's like, oh yeah, okay. And we took a selfie, and I was like, all right, I've got a self timer, 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1. I got down, went 3, 2, 1. Will you marry me? She was like, really? I was like, yes. Had it the whole time. And I think she was happy, but it made up for the awful shit of making her cry in the Lake District. And it was a nice, happy ending.
That's good.
It was a lovely backdrop to it, and it's a nice memory now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We'll just forget about the bit where I made her cry.
Congratulations.
Marriage day, what a load of shit, innit? It was literally that bad, and I'm an idiot.
Oh, it's good to know that I'm not the only one.
It sounds like they always go wrong.
I'm not the only one that fucked up his proposal, and it still went right in the end.
You did? I thought you did it by the River Thames, right?
Yeah, I did by the River Thames.
Yeah.
So I've told this on stream before, but I'll tell it again here because I don't think I've told it on Trash Taste before. My idea for the engagement was going to be like a repeat of our very first date that we ever did.
Romantic.
Yeah, like how you were saying, some people go super extra. I'm more like a sentimental, personal kind of person.
Hot air balloons over
No
Egypt.
hot air balloons, no special things. So on our first day, we cycled down South Bank along the Thames, and there was this picturesque place that we stopped at, and we took one of our first pictures we'd ever taken on that first date. And I was like, this has sentimental value for me. This place has sentimental value. So my idea for the engagement was going to be, we're going to repeat our first dates, and we're going to stop at that point, and that's going to be where I do it. Obviously, at this point, we've been dating for 7-8 years. So it's been a long time since I've been back to London. So I was like, we were back just for, I guess, a month or something. So I was like, honey, let's try. How do you feel about repeating our first date? That's nice, right? And honestly, the date went really well. The beginning of the day, we cycled down, stopped at all of the places we'd taken pictures before, and it was all going super well. I thought, yes, this is the vibe I was hoping for. And then we start getting closer to where the engagement point was meant to be. And we start cycling closer and closer. And I start looking around, start seeing scaffolding slowly get more and more dense.
The UK.
and I'm like, that's weird. That wasn't there before. And so I started single sweat drop starts coming down. And I'm like, it's just the area. Sure, it's just the area. No, there's nothing to worry about. And then the day goes on, and as we cycle closer, the construction and the scaffolding progressively get more and more dense to the point where this photogenic area spot was just kind of like in an area right next to the Thames, like very picturesque. And we got to the entrance of that area, and it was just shut. It was just completely shut, all closed off thanks to construction. And at this point, I'm like, normally, when I have a plan, I have like a plan B. So I'm like, go on, engineer, you can engineer a plan B. And I like cycle through, I cycle through what my plan B is, and I'm like, I don't have a plan B. Fuck, what do I do? So, like in a state of panic, I'm like, maybe there's another entrance somewhere. Maybe there's another entrance somewhere. And Sydney's like, yeah, sure. Let's go. Let's try going find another entrance. So we cycle around, and this entire area is just closed off, thanks to construction. Thanks a lot, City of London. Thanks,
Boris Johnson.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Big Ben is still.
No, it's good now.
Oh, it's good now.
It's good now.
It was like
It's
that
good
for
now.
like how many fucking years?
Half a decade.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so we cycle around the entire area looking for an entrance, but this single area is just closed off for construction. So at this point, I just like, in my mind, I just like given up. I just like, all right, it's done. This was a good plan. Maybe I'll try and find another day. And I turn over to Sydney, and Sydney knows me very, 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 very well. I think she could see how much I was panicking, and I think at this point she could suss what was going on. She could suss what was going on. So I look over at Sydney, about to say, let's just call it a day for the date. and I look at her, and I take a breath. And she gives me the most evil eyes I've ever seen Sydney give me in her life, because I think she knows what I was about to do, and she's like,
He's bailed.
She's like, no, you are not bailing. We are doing this today. and so I turn over and I go, do you want to keep cycling? And so I was just like, maybe God will smile down on me, and maybe there's a nice spot that's not like all fucking painted in construction. So
Sydney's like, good boy.
Yeah, she's like, good boy. So yeah, we cycle down for another like 20 minutes, and thankfully, there's like a place that looks like halfway decent.
Yeah.
And I set up the camera for the selfie, as you do. Get the selfie. Although I took the video.
You get the Twitter engagement.
Yeah,
And
And threads.
Yeah, Sydney told me afterwards that, of course, she knew what was coming halfway through the day. She could see how much I was panicking. But when the ring came out, she just completely blanked. And so did I, actually. Because we didn't realize until after we saw the video that I didn't realize this, because I was just like so shot up with adrenaline, pulled out the ring. She was just like gasped for air in shock, even though she knew what was coming. She didn't even say yes.
Shit.
we didn't.
So what did she do? She was just like, all right, let's go home.
She gasped for air. She started crying, and I just hugged her, and I guess in the moment I heard yes.
You're just like, you're like hugging her, and you're just like, please say that was a yes. I beg of you.
And we didn't realize until after we saw the footage that, shit, you didn't actually say yes in the moment. I just hugged you and assumed you did say yes.
Oh my god.
You pull away, and she's like, no.
She's like, oh,
Marriage annulled.
it's like, well, it's too late to back out now, right?
I never said yes. Fuck yeah, no. Yeah, it's one of those things that you do panic. It's quite a scary thing. You want it to go right, and I thought she would say yes, despite making her cry.
Yeah.
There was a lot of. I was really nervous when I did it.
Right.
I think everyone is, right, when they go through that?
I guess so.
I don't know. I can't really imagine a dude just being like all calm and collected, being like, yep, this is going absolutely according to plan. I'm going to fucking nail the landing. Everything's going to go well. They might say it beforehand.
You've never been in a hot air balloon over Egypt.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
I mean, I haven't.
That's
But I mean, I'm glad in a way that it went wrong, because it's just become such a core memory for me now.
And think you'd forget it otherwise? You're like, oh shit, that is how we
It's like, oh yeah, I have a wife now.
And yeah, I just think
it's gonna be a core memory regardless.
it's a core memory, but the emotional journey I took to get to like final
Made it
moment
better?
just like amplified it just because I went through like so many emotions in those like 6 hours or however long that day
Right,
was.
because otherwise, if it went smoothly, it'd be like it's like when you beat a video game on a too easy difficulty. I should have experienced it in a harder mode. I should have had like a boy trip in front of us in the picture or something.
Yeah.
Should have arranged it.
What's your engagement going to be like one day?
I'm gonna.
You're gonna like artificially add like difficulty to your engagement.
Yeah, I'll have like I'll hire like a bunch of actors that are gonna be me. It's a battle royale.
Wow.
All of them pull out the ring. It's like, which one's the real me?
There's got to be some kind of test, you know. You can't just be married.
If you really love me, you'll know which one's
it's
me.
easy to say yes. You got to prove it.
It's like you just ripped off Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
What's going on
There needs
here?
to be boss fights, boss music at least. I'm kidding.
I know that you are kidding. That's the worrying thing.
No.
You must win my love.
If you want this ring, you must take it from my hands.
You want to be a part of my...
Just Dark Souls level.
There's like a treasure hunt. Only then, if you solve the riddle, may you.
All right, I hit it as a geocache. You have to go find it.
Yeah, you open up the box, it's just an empty box, and it's just like the ring.
It's a shitty Mr. Beast short. It's like go to the Bermuda Triangle, and in there you will see what you seek, and it's like just a dead man.
Check his hand; it's got the ring on it.
But
Fair enough.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
from the gauntlet.
Yeah, congratulations.
cheers.
Lots of congratulations for you.
What else was happening? What else?
Well, book, chess boxing, fucking proposal.
Fucking
Yeah.
proposal.
What else you got?
Fucking proposal.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Oh,
You miss Sendai
pretty
all
much
now
it.
that you have moved?
Nah, it's good though. Nice, but like,
How does Natsuki feel about it?
he never wanted me to move to Sendai.
Oh, really?
It's easier for him to get to Tokyo by plane. When he was trying to, when I said, I'm thinking of moving to Sendai, Tokyo, he was like, Sendai, very fuck. And I was like, oh, all right.